The main purpose of this was to test Biosync's viability, especially because I wanted to fight skill silencing and mana sucking enemies, so that I couldn't rely on my mana to restore my shield.
Yeah, Bunny was pretty much carrying us the whole time, and then literally during the middle, not at the final wave, during the final wave fight, they just left. And these two others with me were clearly just here to, I think, get carried and grind their Descendants up. So they were doing virtually nothing. So that's when I'm like, oh, I got to step up clearly. But it offered a very good test run. It confirmed to me that Biosync Shield actually was useful to put on. Now, I feel like in the end, actually, this just confirms to me what I probably need to get is Shield Collector over Biosync. But it's a good mod to use in Shield Collector's place now until I finally get that wretched mod, by the way. That wretched mod. Either add trading or take away the ridiculous grind to get it's still a mediocre mod. The thing is, your last mod you use on a build is usually a mediocre one, and that's exactly what I'm doing. The last mod on this build has always been usually a mediocre one, because I can't justify anything else. But yeah, this is a good test run for it, because like I said, I got rid of Spear and Shield from my last video on it when I face tanked that boss. I went into that same boss. I went into Molten Fortress, and obviously I went here and confirmed that the defense from Spear and Shield was virtually not helping me at all. And the skill power was only like 10% more damage to my skills. So I figured for my main shield tank build that I say I use this everywhere. You can take this into Gluttony and you'll still be pretty fine, although I still recommend my Gluttony version to the build where I take off Biosync, which those mods aren't as useful in Colossus fights when there's not as much things to kill. Actually, Biosync would be more useful than Shield Collector for Colossus fights, because then you're using pickups rather than kills, so if your teammates steal the kill, you can still get the pickup off them. So yeah, Biosync may even be overall better for most situations than Shield Collector even. But yeah, that, and then Amplification Control, which only does a little bit for my shield, and I don't need the range in a Colossus fight at all. My skills are pretty much useless anyway, so against Gluttony, it makes sense to take off Amplification, and take off Nimble Fingers, which is the biggest one I take off. That is the most useful for a Colossus fight. But I gain all three chill resist mods. Add chill resist on my sensor too, and then I become another level tankiness against Gluttony that way with like 25,000 chill resist at the cost of just like a few thousand shield. So yeah, that's what I do for him. But this is now a great and confirmed shield tank build for every other content in this game, if you just want to play a face tanking shield. Now, obviously, if I was on my farming tank, he could have cleared that wave a lot faster. Bunny would have laughed at that. But again, that's not the point of this build. The point of this build is to be as tanky as possible, but also still have a use for AoE skills, so you're not entirely relying on your gun, and so you can actually take it and still be successful everywhere else in the game, because there's sub-waves of enemies with the enemies that you can only kill with headshots, and super buffed enemies that skill damage actually is more useful than just guns alone. This did confirm to me that I want to use Kingsguard's Lance. I feel like a maxed out Kingsguard's Lance on this shield tank Ajax build would be perfection at that point. Like, against that wave you just saw, he would have been able to clear it. I mean, of course it'd still take him way longer than a Bunny or my Ajax farming build, but he still would have been able to clear it much faster than you saw, I feel like, with Kingsguard's Lance. Also, if you didn't notice, I had the wrong reactor on, so I actually was missing half my skill damage. So that also contributed substantially, that you just saw. I had the wrong reactor on, and I had my Gluttony sensor on, so I was missing MP recovery in combat. So yeah, I was actually had less tech power and less MP recovery in that fight you just saw too.